In this video, I want to talk about a very important concept for your workflow, which will help you to make better decisions, faster decisions, and I want to show you on a track I just recently finished. Let me quickly play a section of the track for you. I don't want to play a full track now. I mean, you need to keep you hooked when it gets released. But you will see this soon. And I think like 2-3 months, I guess it will be out there for you to listen. Not only because it takes a bit to really polish it in the end, that's something which takes longer, but also release schedules and stuff, labels. Make sure to drop out and tune in when that comes out. While I'm recording, we have the 12th of January. And as you can see, I started this project on the 4th of January, so like 8 days ago, and I didn't even do something on it today. I was just recording videos today. I finished this track in a week. Actually, I'm a bit proud to have it finished that fast. But it's not about that. The thing what I want to tell you is, and I had a bit of help, so it's a collab, so I got the kicking bass from my partner in crime, and also I took the drums from another track. But what I think is really important for your production, and it will help you a lot. And I would nail it down to one word, and it's called intuition. There's a lot of times where we start tweaking things, like we kind of like overthinking things, we over-perfectionize things. So we are taking like an hour to tweak a synth preset. We're taking like 20 hours to tweak kick and bass or the drums, and there's nothing wrong about this particularly, but a lot of times it's not necessary, and that's kind of like the main point you should take with you after this video. It's a lot of times the first initial sketch you do is actually one of the best. And how can you get into this intuition mode? So the first thing is you need to make it easy for yourself to start. So that's what I basically had here. I had the kick and bass, I took the drums. I mean, we probably changed the drums on the track, but that's not the important thing. I mean, once you have the track, you will be able to put drums on it. The same goes for kick and bass. Even if that's maybe not the perfect kick and bass or the perfect drums, whatever now, it will be later. But what's way more important is that we have basically a track there. So there will be also adjustments here. I'm not finished with that track, but the raw sketch, the basic idea, the main thing is there. And once you have the main thing there, there's nothing which can stop you finishing it besides delaying it artificially again by overcomplicating things. One ingredient is that you set yourself up for success by having templates of things like kick and bass, drums, maybe even an arrangement template for the beginning, which you can always change if you want. And another tip I have, if you have favorites in your presets, and I really need to build that out, or in your sample library, you can give those colors here, for example, like favorites, and then I ordered a little bit like my favorite synths and stuff. Whenever you can organize your stuff, it will take some time, but it will help you in the end to save time, and that's really important. We have that saying here, I don't know if it's an international thing, the one who organizes his stuff is too lazy to search. And that's pretty true, I think, in a lot of cases. And the second thing which really helped me here in that track is I recycled a lot of materials. I have here my user library, a folder, it's called the Brainstrom Graveyard. And whenever I do a brainstorm, I keep all the elements I didn't use in the track in the Brainstrom Graveyard. So let's assume I make a track in F and I create 20 leads. And I use 10 of those 20 leads in my track. Then I have 10 leads left and I put them here in the graveyard. And as you can see, I have like different speeds and different keys. It doesn't really matter. I mean, you can still use stuff if you're here in E, if you're making a track in G, even if it's like quite far away. Move the MIDI up and down and see if it works, or you can do some adjustments to it. The important thing is you have something you can already bring into your track, which will fast forward your production. I have a little concept here, which you also can see there's like one of three. I use this 3 times, and after 3 times I throw it away. And each time I take stuff out. So let's say I have the 10 leads in here, which we stored. And in this project, maybe I use 5 of them, then there's only 5 left, and I put like a 1 here. And the next time I take another 1 out, and I put a 2 on here. And the next time I may not even take 1 out, and I put a 3 on it, and then I know it's done. Because after some time, there's just the crap left, and you probably won't use it in any project anymore. So there's times where you can throw things away. But there's also times where you can recycle things, and that helped me a lot here. In my brainstorm. So I was creating here 20 leads, 20 FMs, 20 pads, and I think half of it I got from my graveyard here. Also, another advantage of the graveyard is a lot of times we have spent too much time in creating elements and we don't want to let them go. And whenever you have kind of the ice box, the thing which is, okay, the graveyard is not named so nicely, but let's say you have an ice box and you keep it for later, then it's never like wasted. So your mind has a better feeling in putting it away and not trying to implement it in the track if it doesn't fit. That's another advantage you get when you have that kind of like storage for your stuff which you didn't use. Then the next thing I want to go, how you get into flow, into intuition, is by moving fast. So you need to force yourself to move fast. And in my case, it was that I need to leave the next week. And I wanted to send this project to my color partner. And that's why I thought, okay, I want to finish this track in a week. No matter what it takes, no matter how good it will be, I want to have something I can send him over in a week. And it actually turned out brilliantly. I think it's the best track we have on the EP so far, or it will be one of the best tracks on the EP so far. We're making a 4-track EP, and I think a lot of it just was because I didn't have the time to overthink things. I just put things in and either they worked or they didn't work. And if they didn't work, I threw them out and quickly moved on. So that's a very important thing is don't stop. I mean, you want to have some motion going on. You want to have some momentum. Going on. So you're creating this track and you don't want to keep yourself kind of like stuck on something, because that takes out all the creativity. That will make you lose all the focus from what is here in the beginning to what is here in the end. But if you move quickly, you just have like a more like black and white decisioning where you say, okay, that's it or that's not. That can really help you to go fast. I mean, there's time when to go slow again, and definitely more like into mixing, mastering, I would maybe take more time. But as you know from my mixing videos and from my live streams, I also go very fast about this. I don't get stuck in sections. I kind of like try to move and make small decisions in the mixing, mastering stage. My next point is take breaks. So I'm not really good at this, but I did this track in basically 4 sessions. And whenever I felt I don't really move forward anymore or not in the same pace, I took a break. And it's really refreshing sometimes. And sometimes the time you kind of like do nothing can do more for you than if you would actually keep on going and maybe even destroying the track. And there's a quick final point I want to touch with you guys, and I already mentioned it. It's always keep the perspective. So let's say you get stuck in a part, then try to listen from 1 or 2 sections before and get in the mood again. Get kind of like into the flow, get into the going, and not shift your vision for too long on super focused. So that's the thing. Whenever you focus, also make sure that you take a step back and see the whole project again. I hope you enjoyed this little video about workflow. So the main thing you should get out of this is move fast and get into intuition mode, make quick decisions, make good decisions. And in the end, you might even end up with a better result than if you would have spent too much time on one single thing. And if you want to know more about my workflow, my production, you'll find my live streams in my members area. There are live stream or record videos while I'm producing, so you see the full spectrum. Actually, this one is one track where we'll upload the complete arrangement from a brainstorming phase to here. so that you can watch it and then you can understand how I come to the decisions I make and what are my decisions and what are all my little tricks you don't know yet. And it will be a really good decision for you to become a member. Also, I have a private Discord with very good producers from the Psytrance Academy, other members or friends of mine, which will be very interesting for you to network with, to build your own network of Psytrance producers. So I hope to see you on my Discord channel.